Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Virgo March 2023 weekly Tarot Bite reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So, hi, everyone, and welcome. This reading is meant to just be a little mini reading for the week, truly a bite out of or compared to the larger illumination readings that I do for the month. So this week I'm doing another round of tarot bite readings for every sign. Next week I will be releasing the April illumination readings, which are about 30 to 40 minutes and really dive into the themes for the month ahead for each sign. So if you're interested in that, you can keep your eye out for those next week. But we're going to jump right into your reading, Virgo, for this week. All right. So this is going to be kind of the overarching theme for the week ahead. We're looking at whale spirit, trust the great mystery, number 65, breaking down to master number 11, my favorite number in numerology, which is the gateway between what currently is and what spirit is asking us to expand into, or what can be when we courageously walk through that doorway of change, when we know that we are co-creating with spirit and we fearlessly and with confidence choose to do so. But I love how it says, trust the great mystery. There is an aspect to our experience that will always be a true mystery to us. We do not know what is beyond the limitations of our current human experience, and we may conjecture and hypothesize, but in reality, there's always things kind of at work on a subtle realm, which is actually what tarot is great at depicting, that subtle energy that we can't see physically. We might be able to feel to a certain extent through our emotional aspect of our experience, but we can't actually see it. And that's what the tarot cards help us to do. They help us to see something that is a mystery to us, this subtle energy. But what I'm going to do here is I'm first going to start by reading the excerpt that comes with this oracle deck in the book, and then we're going to kind of flesh this out. We're going to pull a few additional cards, and we're going to look at a gateway or a doorway that is opening for you, that is going to help you continue to further expand and to push you into that beautiful doorway leading to that more expanded version of your life experience here. So number 65, all the way down. It's almost one of the last ones here. Okay, so it says, trust the great mystery, oracle message. Whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils, separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. I love this. For many of you, I'm just getting intuitively the feeling that for many of you, there's this kind of creeping in doubt of, how is this all going to work? Is this going to grow? Almost being in that cosmic soup of where everything and nothing is kind of existing at one point. And I think with this coming in this week, you are going to start to see or feel, coming through that heart-centeredness, start to feel, I think, that trust, that faith that comes when we know that even though at this very moment we can't see the fruit of those seeds or the sprouts of those seeds, we feel them getting ready to germinate. And I'm going to pull a tarot card now to go further. We're going to look at what this doorway actually is, and then I'll pull some additional cards as well. So I really feel for you, the part that says, you kind of to kind of tap into the great mystery through your heart space. For many of you, if you can this week really get to that place where if you have the time to meditate, this is a wonderful practice when we kind of feel like we're maybe in this no man's land, or where we feel that something is going to happen, but we don't quite understand what it is, or we feel like even our experience is maybe a little chaotic and we're not quite sure how it's all going to work out. That if you can have the time to kind of quietly sit and really meditate on that heart space, meditate on a mantra, kind of asking yourself, that higher version of yourself, what is help me to feel through my heart what the highest version of success looks like and feels like for me. Now, success is a very interesting word because we so associate it here, especially in the United States where I am. We so associate it with money. Success equals wealth. Success equals the big house. Success equals, the giant paycheck. But success, when we ask our soul to show us that, can be something completely different. And for me, those cards just wanted to come on out. That's quite a bit of a story. I'm going to leave that. I feel like that's a very individual story for someone out here. Yep, that's the meat right here of that story, I'm sure. But what I was going to say is, I went through a personal kind of heart opening myself. And it was actually a meditation I did, which was asking exactly that, asking me, my higher self, my soul, to show me what success looked like for me. And this was at a time in my life where I was kind of talk about being in a place of having to just trust and walk the path on faith. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life, and most of it was actually the things in my life being dismantled or removed. But what I was shocked at was I had this kind of clairvoyant flash, this clear image of when I asked myself what success looked like, I was expecting it to see myself in some future job or vision for myself in what I was going to do, what was my purpose going to be in that realm. And I've been fixated on work and professional stuff for a lot of my past self up until this point where that has changed recently. And that this was actually kind of the crux of that, where all of a sudden I saw myself swinging what seemed to be like a 2-year-old around in the air on top of a hill. And it was this clear moment of where I connected with a future vision of myself with a child that I had not allowed myself to realize I wanted. It was so important to me. And at the time I did not have children. I was very far away from thinking that I was going to have children. And I had to really kind of rearrange my whole life. It gave me a completely different perspective. And I had to really realize, if that's a priority for me, if that's something that my heart is singing to, my soul is yearning for that experience, then there's a lot of changes that have to happen. And that was a part of my whole change. And it opened up so many doors for myself. And that has been realized now for myself. I do have a daughter. It's been a wonderful experience. It's so many blessings on the home front for me, and the personal side to my experience. But I did have to trust that mystery. I had to trust that what my heart was singing for was ultimately going to come to be. Even though I couldn't see where those seeds were being planted, I felt and knew that they were there and waiting to come into be. So this might be this week where you can kind of get to that place of really asking your soul, what is success to me? What are the seeds being sown behind the scenes? What are they going to grow for me that is in my highest good, in my best interest? And with the 5 of Pentacles. So this is looking at this is the doorway. This is where Spirit's asking you to take your internal gaze and be like, where are we looking here? Where's this doorway? And the 5 of Pentacles is a card of lack. It's a card of that kind of poverty mindset where we never feel like we quite have enough, where there's a lot of fear around money, a lot of fear around the physical experience. It's also a card where we can feel like we are being left out in the cold. You see these individuals who look like they're dressed in rags, and they're walking kind of outside of what can appear to be the stained glass window of a church. Now, they could choose to go in and probably get some refuge and help, but they in turn continue on their journey because they don't see it. They don't recognize that opportunity. So there's a gateway this week, Virgo, to really, I think, move past this feeling of being so fixated on maybe what you don't have, and stepping into that gratitude for what you do have, but also stepping into more of an alignment with what your soul is yearning for. And when we get to that place, it tends to give us a fearlessness that comes when we know that this is meant for us. I was given a lot of courage to change a lot of things in my life, simply because my soul was yearning for something that I knew was not going to be supported by those things, but I knew would be replaced by aspects in all areas of my life that would support that again, what my soul was crying out for. So it's almost like you have to get out of the physical and into the realm of the metaphysical, into the realm of faith. There's a doorway here where you can really ensure that what is meant for you will come to you. And I love that here's your card, surrender to spirit. It says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. This is such a really beautiful week. I'm feeling intuitively of just release, of just kind of, I know it's such a, kind of trite saying, and it obviously doesn't resonate with everybody, but it's kind of like the Jesus take the wheel kind of week for you guys, where it's really looking at where maybe where you're clinging to a change that needs to come in to support your higher good. You're clinging to something that is not in your highest good, but you're doing so out of the fear of loss in the physical. Clinging to a job because you're too afraid to lose that income or lose that level of income, where maybe you're too afraid to really start to move towards, again, what your soul's yearning for, because you might feel like others might leave you out in the cold. And this is saying, surrender to what your soul wants and start to make those changes. And there's a release of the focus on the physical, moving into the realm of spirit. It looks almost like these individuals are like, they think they're out in the cold, they think there's no one here, and yet they're walking into this beautiful sunlit forest. And this is that week, I think, this is kind of like a portal week for many of you. This is a portal just in general. For this March in general is a portal month as we move into April. We're changing on all levels, but for you guys, this is really focused on the heart space and what your soul is yearning for. There's a doorway truly with that master number 11 opening up, of stepping into a much more, again, expanded version of your life experience, but one that will be highly supportive of you as a unique soul. So we have transformation. So this is where Spirit wants you to really focus on keeping this as a point of contemplation in your experience this week. It says transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Yeah. I think for many of you, you've healed something within yourself, or in releasing this kind of tie to the physical or this fear of loss in the physical. If you can heal that, then those seeds that are ready to come in will start to come in. You'll start to see the signs of where that change has to happen to make room for these seeds that are blooming for your ultimate higher good. And I love that it says you're changing at a cellular level. I think for many of you, there might have been this hyper focus on the physical for a long time. And on a cellular level, you may be feeling that kind of almost, it might seem shocking to you, almost like this release of like, you know what, I can do without. Or you know what, I don't need to have that amount of money. I would prefer now to do something that makes my soul sing in the professional world. Or I realize I would rather take that pay cut and be a stay-at-home parent. Something along those lines, where it's the realization of the shift of what really is going to make you happy and provide meaning for yourself. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to releasing your illumination video for April next week. Bye, everyone.